had to work on some technical things, but right now we're okay. Hope everybody's doing all right. I wanted to say hi and see how y'all doing. This is Bushcraft A to Z. That being said, we have a gift giving giveaway. G-I-W. Yeah, G-I-W. We have a gift giveaway going on, and the giveaway is one of our Bushcraft wood carving set for spoon carving. Parameters are you can't be a student, you can't be an instructor associated with the Old Ways Training umbrella of teaching. You can be an associate instructor, so you can be one of the instructors with your own school. Students can participate, and anyone else. That being said, I'm just saying that because, you know, my wife can't get it. She wants it. The parameters are guess correctly. The person with the most correct guesses by the time the series ends at Z of what the next one will be. So E was edible plants. We got three kinds there. If in the edible plants video someone says the next one being F, they go, fire, it's about fire, of course it is. Then they comment on the thing before fire, before the F, before the time that one starts. They comment either in the chat room or in the actual comment section under the video, either one. They can, like, if they get it right, then they've got a point next to their little name. And you can do that as often as you want to. That being said, one per one guess per new video. So if someone guessed for this one, heat, specifically heat stroke and heat exhaustion, or not both of those, but either one, or something along those lines, they get a tick mark. So there's someone already in the running for it, actually. So that's good. I usually do a little bit of housekeeping stuff before we actually get going, because people sometimes it takes a minute for them to get on board. Oh, it's time. All right. So the biggest thing with heat exhaustion and heat stroke, very apropos, very appropriate for us coming into the summer situation, because it is April 13th today, and we're gonna get into summer. This is the South, so it's hot, and it'll get hot, and it'll continue to get hotter. So heat exhaustion and heat stroke are two different things. You got to know the important, what makes them different, because you do different things. Okay. For example, if someone's in the middle of a heat stroke, you do not want to cool them down with water. You don't throw water on them. Don't give them water to drink. Well, they might be passed out by then, but don't shock the body. Right? At that point, it's body shock. And I've got some notes up here on my computer, and it's not the best, but that's okay. You move them to a cooler area for heat stroke. It's the worst of the two. You move them to a cooler area, loosen the clothing, remove any extra layers, and you don't put cold water on them. You put warm water on them, so water that's been out there with them, perhaps. Um, and after a few moments of that, where that evaporation helps to cool the body up a little bit, then you put some cooler water on there, and then maybe some ice or something like this. Um, both are really, really, really bad. Okay, so heat stroke can cause death. You can die from a heat stroke. You will be severely constitutionally impaired from experiencing a heat exhaustion. That's one of those important things. So let's go under some symptoms. Heat stroke, the worst of the two. It means if you see these symptoms, you're in someone else, then they are on the cusp of bad things happening. Do something now, right? Confusion, like brain fog type thing. What's going on? What's going on? Dizziness. Okay. If they've already passed out, then there you go. They're already on the down spiral. So if a person can't stand up, they're like that. They're talking and saying things like that, and doing things that indicate those things. That's what you do. You be careful about that. The lesser of the two, heat exhaustion. You got to be close. So there's dizziness on both. Okay, but if you include confusion and unconsciousness or near unconsciousness, then you're going to have heat stroke. If there's high thirst for exhaustion, if it's high thirst, heavy sweating, nausea, weakness in the limbs, right? So another symptom of heat stroke is a lack of sweat. At that point, the body has gotten so dehydrated that it is chosen to keep its water. Okay, that's vital. You see someone in a very hot environment and they're not sweating, give them a break. Do something to say, you need to stop what you're doing. You need to get into a cool place and you need to drink lots of water. I'm talking about 16 ounces plus, 20 ounces, 24, 32, 48, whatever. Just get as much water as they can in the not fast. If you force a person to drink water really, 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 really fast, they will throw up. They're not absorbing that water if it's outside their body. So, as fast as they can. Move them to a cool area, loosen clothing, sip the cold water, drink cold water. And one leads to the other. So if you see someone in the middle of a heat exhaustion, they could be on the way to heat stroke. Okay. So this one's going to be a short one today. We're just going to figure this is a nice little deal. Heat stroke and heat exhaustion. Now, those are the qualities of those two items. I am in the camp of preventative maintenance, which means if you're paying attention, you're going to do the things that don't put you in the place that would be heat exhaustion or heat stroke. Okay. And this goes for all of life. Pay attention to where you are. Pay attention to what you're doing. Pay attention to your self-condition. It's basically what Kamai means, is just paying attention to the condition of your body. What is going on with it? I know there's people out there that you could probably ask them the percentage of full they are, and they would tell you 33.5% full. Right? Most people are like, I could eat. or I'm a little hungry, or I'm full, or I'm overfull. Like it's very descriptive language. It's not numbers. There's people out there that have the ability to pay attention to their body well enough to um, give you a number. There's people at the same time, energy level. There's people of all kinds of different places. There's a practice called if I'm pronouncing it right, it's Feldenkrais. It's German. This guy, his name is Feldenkrais, and he created a movement system where you isolate muscles in your mind and move just that one. Okay, it's a somewhat meditative practice, but it's very, very, very useful for anyone in a movement environment, anyone, dancers, martial artists, um, anyone who has anyone on stage doing any type of performance, actors. They need to know, you know, how to move single muscles so they make their face look a certain way or their body look a certain way. They're not hunched over anymore, and they're up here like this, and they do this all the time when the camera's on them. And this just looks like the way they are all the time, but it's not. When the camera's off, they slouch or whatever because they're activating certain muscles. They need to know which muscles to activate. So that's Feldenkrais. Um, if I remember correctly, Mr. Feldenkrais, began studying how children would um, roll over in their crib. Um, and he saw it because the head was so big. Heads are to us like paws are to um, dogs, wolves. They start with their paw as big as it needs to be. It may grow a little bit, but not very much. And there's these little pups, and they got these huge paws. Um, we've got heads. We've got huge heads. Um, and so he looked at how a person with brand new muscles and new circuitry wiring those muscles together into the brain, how does someone new to the idea of life figure out how to turn over, how to roll over? And Mr. Feldenkrais um, researched it, documented it, and was able to work that. Now, this all comes from the idea of knowing your limits. This is the life mastery or life improvement side of things. Okay, side of this Bushcraft A to Z. We're going to go back to our original thing. Today's subject is I saw something. Somebody came up with something. And I see another one, and it's not there. Tell you what, I'm going to go to see if I can pull up and watch myself. My phone's in the way. I'm doing this on my phone so that, hey, there he is. Woodchuck's in the live. So I'm going to do this on my computer. I'm going to mute myself. Juanito. 2. Good afternoon, my friend. I see that you are starting to do YouTube. You are new here, right? No, I am not new here. I have been doing this for quite some time. Interesting. Okay. No, I've this is a new series. If that's what you're referring to, this is a somewhat new series. We're at H right now. This is Bushcraft A to Z. We've done A for air temperature or heat loss. We've done B for bags or kit mentality. We've done C for carving or blade safety. We've done D for distance. Oh, I may have gotten that one wrong. That's an old, I'm going off an old thing here. E for edible plants, F for fire, G, gifts of nature. So we're just going through A to Z, all bushcraft oriented. But the way I like to do things is there's a real there's our subject matter, and then there's our life mastery or life improvement type side that um, you can kind of transition. So you've got a real life practical thing to do and think about when it comes to bushcraft, and then you've got an expansion from that that is able to get you to live your life in a better way. That's really the whole point of it. So today we're on heat stroke and heat exhaustion. Um, so the to recap a little bit, we've got heat stroke is the worst of the two. Between heat stroke is almost passing out and passing out. You're not sweating anymore. Okay, your body has chosen to hold its water in, and dizziness and confusion. Heat exhaustion is the prelude to heat stroke, and it has dizziness, thirst, lots of sweating, heavy sweating. Okay, nausea, weakness, and weakness where you can't stand up or you're shaking a whole lot. Um, uh, just those two, the things that help you no matter what stage you're in is you've got to, if you see someone in that stage, or notice that you're in that stage, because the life growth benefit is this, is knowing your limits. Because if you don't know your limits, you're going to stay out there in the sun and you're going to work hard and you're going to continue to work and you continue to work. You're not going to pay attention that your body's not sweating anymore, and you'll pass out. So we don't like that. um, we want you to stay alive and stay around and continue to be with us. And so this is the whole point of this thing. So if you're paying attention to your body, if you know your limits, then you are you're going to know when you're sweating profusely, like sweating a lot. And then you're going to know when you begin to stop sweating. So that's the important part. If if you notice when you stop sweating, then that needs to be the priority. You need to get up out of that sun, out of the heat of the day, and move to a cooler place. Even like, so if you're in the woods and you're bushcraft oriented, if you're in the woods, you're camping or whatnot, and whatever you're doing, you're in the heat, and you notice you begin to slow down in your sweating or start to stop sweating, go to the creek. If you're bushcrafting, if you're camping, you have a creek nearby. You have some form of body of water. If you're not, then we need to talk about that. But camp location, which I could have done for C instead of doing carving, but camp location. Do I have it under L? Nope. Okay. So stop what you're doing. Go to the riverbank or lake or stream bank. Go to the bank. Don't get in, but just sit there for a second, because that area is going to be cooler by nature, by the fact that it's a water source. Find shade while you're there. It's even cooler. Then when you feel better, a little bit better, put your hands in the water. Take your hands out. These are natural heat sinks. So if you know anything about electronics and how the electronic parts fit together, the things that produce a lot of heat, like central processors and things like that, they have these fins on them. And the point of that is the heat will naturally go up those fins and then disperse out. There's a whole lot of surface area. Purpose is surface area. More surface area, more radiant heat, and you're able to cool that item down. Do the same thing. You're you're by the let's say riverside. You're at the riverbank, and you're cooled down for a little bit in the shade. You put your hands in the water, and then lift the hands up. Let the water drip down here. Go deeper in the water. Let the water come up to here. Come back up. do the same thing with your legs and feet. That air will cool you down. It'll radiate. It's like a reverse heat sink, I guess would be the word for it. It would cool. The coolness would come from your extremities and then start to cool your core. Because heat loss and overheating are the two main environmental factors that they're like indirect, but they're still dangerous. When it comes to wilderness survival or staying alive in the woods, the dangers of the wilderness include extreme temperatures. It also includes dangerous plant life, dangerous animal flora and fauna, dangerous terrain, geography, things like that. But this is the I think we did what was it? Yeah, number one, air temperature or heat loss. That was our number one. So we're over here on H right now, looking at heat stroke and heat exhaustion from that point of view. I know I've repeated myself a few times. I just wanted to make sure everybody, no matter when they get on, they get the information. That's about it. Our next one is I, going down the list for A through Z, and it's pretty interesting. And again, the contest is we have a carving kit, so a little bushcraft carving kit that includes a small knife, straight carving knife. So that's one item. Another item is the curved knife, hook knife, spoon knife. Those are just the two blades. It also comes with a strop and some stropping compound and a leather case. So this is the item in question that will be sent to the person who wins the giveaway. The giveaway is the people, the channel, that your name, like Mr. Juanito 2, choose the next one. So the next one being I. If you guess I before I start the next one and start talking about what that one truly is, if you guess what it is, then you get a little tick mark by your name, and at the end of the series, when we get to Z, I'll tally up the tick marks and see who wins. And I'll just send it on. We'll get some information at that time. We'll get some information about, email address, that kind of a thing. But yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. I keep saying that I need to go get it and bring it out here so I can show you guys, but it's in its cardboard box, and all the parts are there. It's as if you had bought it off the shelf. But it's extra. We've had our carving classes before, and we include that in our carving class. Cool little. That's from Bushcraft. Cool little item. But this might be a short one then. So one last recap, and then we're done. Heat exhaustion is when you have heavy sweating, dizziness, weak limbs. This is going to, if you don't do anything now, this is going to lead to heat exhaustion. Heat exhaustion is you stop sweating because your body has sweat so much it needs to start retaining water. More dizziness, more weakness, like more advanced stuff. If you continue to wait, even during that moment, you will pass out. And then you're at the mercy of whatever comes at you at that point. So, and if it's still heat and still sun because you passed out in the sun, well, you're just going to be one little baked guy or girl. And the idea behind this, the life mastery side of this, is to know your limits, to pay attention to yourself, to pay attention to your body, what it needs. Self-care is a part of that. So if you are in a stressful environment, and let's say it's work. For a lot of people it's work. Some people it's family events and gatherings and other things or whatnot. But let's say it's work. You get off work because you have to be at work, right? You gotta remember that. You get off work, and if you don't do something that will de-stress you, you're gonna get into a wreck. You're gonna get you're gonna drive too fast. Police officer's gonna pull you over and be like, you need to slow down because you're angry, you're stressed. You're focused too much on the stress, and you're not focused on your driving. There's your wreck. Someone moves where you didn't think they should move or would move, and because you're in here, not out here, you've got to pay attention to your environment. So that's the part of it. Anyway, guys, I hope you're doing all right. I look forward to seeing you guys at the next one. Let's see, we got I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. This is a long series. Anyway, hope you're doing well. We'll see you next week if I can make that happen. And in the meantime, get lost, but never lose your way.